Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria, back to you with another review for Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 11, called Taking It Day by Day. First off, I'm going to start off by saying Happy New Year, Happy 2024. Hoping 2024 is better than 2023. We're going to go straight into this BS of an episode. Okay, we're taking it day by day, but at this point, well, that I've been saying for I don't know how many weeks now, why are we taking it day by day? We taking it week by week, month by month, year by year with this season. Let's wrap this up, please. You guys are stretching this. This is only episode 11, but you guys are stretching this. That's why you had to bring Michael back, because come to find out, we're going to have another couple that's going to be gone. So now you only have two couples left. But you had the nerve to make this episode 2 hours before the after party. Why? Why? We didn't need 2 hours. You could have kept this the regular 1.5 hour you've been doing the past, I don't know how many weeks of this season. Y'all could have kept this 2 hours, but here we are. So we're starting off with day 24 of marriage, okay? And we have Brennan and Emily making pizza, talking about the exercises that Dr. Pia gave them, which I guess was to, touch a little bit more with as least clothes as possible. And I'm just, I was looking at Dr. Pia in that flashback, like, they haven't even got to the point where they just kiss on a regular basis. So for them to be touching with as least clothes as possible, good luck with that. And even Brendan was like, in the moment he said yes, but then when he was talking with Emily over making some pizza or whatever that was, the lack thereof, he was just like, let's just do some hugging, okay? So she was agreeing to that, but she wants to do some talking as well. And Brendan agrees. How much they gonna talk, I don't know, because it looked like Brennan shut down for this whole episode. But then again, he's been shutting down this whole season. So there you go. There you have it. We then move on to the experts meet with Michael to discuss how sorry they are that what happened to him happened. It was the first time in Married at First Sight history in over 17 seasons. Anyway, so when he came to meet up with them, he was still wearing the crown homegirl gave him, and I'm just like, why? Like, you need to be over and done with that. You need to burn that dang crown. I'm surprised you didn't give the crown back to her along with the little cane thing you gave back to her. Like, no, actually, she gave him back his gifts. But I digress. Ain't no reason for you to be walking in to meet the expert with a crown that homegirl done gave you that you only met for 2.5 seconds. I'm just saying, I wouldn't have done it, but, he's still holding on to this crown, which I'm just like, why? But okay, whatever. And the experts pretty much, after we skip over all the formalities and whatnot, they pretty much ask him if they were to find him another match, would he be open to getting married again? So he said, it goes to commercial for dramatic effect. Comes back from commercial for dramatic effect. Michael says yes. Michael, if that's what you want to do, go ahead, bro. But if this is the first thing that happened to you, or if this happened to you and it was the first time in the history of Married at First Sight of 17 years, I don't think I would trust these people to choose another person for me. I'm just saying. Who's to say anybody could be like, oh, I don't want to get married. But the fact that you're the first person this happened to, yeah, I'm not going to put my trust and hope and faith in them to try to get me into another thing. Like, maybe I should look at it as Jesus, helping me dodge a bullet. And, to getting legally married and legally binding contracts with someone, that I don't even know. So to do it again, me personally, I mean, I wouldn't even be on the show to begin with anyway. I've told you guys this multiple times, countless times. But if I was in his situation, I would say no, because it's just like, y'all not about to put me in this situation again. It just wouldn't be me. But, he gonna go through with it because, he's whimsical and whatnot, or whatever he called himself in the beginning of the season. So he gonna do it again. I'm pretty sure they don't show us this, but I'm pretty sure there's conversations that are had, behind the scenes, giving him his options in regards to his contract and whatever the case may be. So we then move on to Claire and Cameron. They go indoor skiing. And afterwards, they sit down and talk about the relationship, and they're meeting with Dr. Pia, how they're going to navigate the relationship and incorporate fun. And Claire lets us know that she just doesn't want him to resent her because she considers him her best friend. Now, when she said this, I was just like, you friend zone, my boy. Cameron is friend zone. He's friend zoned at this point. Because I'm just like, I understand a lot of spouses and relationships a lot of people consider their spouses and significant other their best friend. I too am the same way. But in this case, I just don't feel like she was saying it in that, my spouse is my best friend type of way. I feel like she was saying it more in like, no, this is like my best friend, and that's all he's gonna be is my best friend. So I'm like, oh, you friend zoned homeboy, which I feel like she did from the beginning of time. But this kind of confirmed that, like, he's just the best friend to her, and it ain't nothing more than just being friends. So, it's easier to see the situation from the outside looking in versus the inside looking out. So, Cameron's still lost in trance with homegirl, but you're he's trying to make it work, but he already knows the inevitable. Claire already knows the inevitable. The experts already know the inevitable, but they're gonna have to try to make it seem like they care about these folks to try to make it work and make it through the test of time. But clearly, your efforts are showing that it don't even matter. It don't. What are we here for? Nothing. Anyway, we move on. These people get on my nerves. I'm sorry. The experts, the producers, this show gets on my nerves. I still watch it anyway, but I'm just like, at what point are we gonna just really be 100% transparent about this whole crap? That it's all a facade. That y'all don't really try to make these people be with their actual match, but you really just try to make conflict so you can have a good TV show, but it's really making everybody frustrated because that's not how you guys started off this whole show as. But now you're making it more ridiculous and ridiculous every season. All right, venting over, back to what done happened in this episode. We move on to Becca and Austin. So Becca's in distress, okay? Because her and Austin were talking about religion. And I guess Austin made a comment in regards to, if she were to go to hell, he's still going to, not feel, he's still going to have the same feelings for her, or whatever the case may be. So she's sad about that because she's just like, why would you say that I'm going to go to hell? So they have a Zoom call with Pastor Cal. And did he even give them any advice? I don't even remember, to be honest. I just feel like it was all BS, whatever Pastor Cal was trying to say to Becca and Austin. But, after, I didn't even write down any advice he gave them because I don't feel like he did really give them any, good advice if he did. But after they had the whole Zoom call with Pastor Cal, they have a little conversation between themselves. And, Becca even mentioned to Pastor Cal how Austin kind of, told her that he's in love with her or he loves her or whatnot. So she was happy about that. And, as they're talking one-on-one after the Zoom call, Becca does get emotional again. They're going to try to figure it out. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, so because you guys have nothing else to be in disagreement about, even though I feel like maybe Austin does, but he just doesn't want to say it. I don't know. But clearly this religion thing is going to be brought up for the rest of the season. Okay, clearly, because that's the only thing you guys have a riff-raff on. And granted, I wouldn't be with someone who don't have the same beliefs as me in regards to religion because I can understand how that can be difficult. But the fact that we're talking about this every week is getting on my nerves. And the fact that now she's getting emotional and whatnot and saying, how you gonna say I'm not gonna go to heaven? And, he has the belief that, if you don't believe in Jesus, you're not gonna go to heaven. And, well, I'm not going to fault him for believing as a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with someone who doesn't believe in Jesus, I can understand how that's kind of like an iffy subject or a conversation to talk about. But there's people that stand 10 toes down like, look, you're going to hell, bro. But to them, they don't feel like they're going to go to hell because our perception of heaven and hell is different from other people's perception of heaven and hell. Once again, this is why I just would rather be with someone who has the same beliefs as me versus opposing beliefs. Now, I'm not going to fault you, and I'm not going to look at someone a different type of way for, being an atheist or not believing in God. That's if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Listen, you are you, I am me. But as far as a relationship, especially when, when you're having kids, I can definitely understand how that's going to be like a little riffraff. Okay. So they're going to have to figure it out, work it out, because I feel like they do want to be together, especially on Becca's end, more so than Austin's end. But I feel like Austin's still, low-key, high-key, want this relationship to work too. They just going to have to figure it out. I can't give you no advice because I have never been in that situation. I don't know how to deal with that situation. Neither does Pastor Cal, so don't really take his advice, Look, let's just be 100%. Let's be 100 about this, okay? Does Pastor Cal know how to deal with all these issues that these people come to them with? No. And that should further make him realize, yo, let me stop putting people, opposing people together and put people that are meant for each other, so I don't have to get all these hard questions that he don't seem like he know how to answer, and he just trying to sound all philosophical just so he can, get through the conversation. But in actuality, when you think about it and like try to understand what he's trying to say, you're not really understanding what he's trying to say, because he's not really making a lick of sense, because he don't know how to answer. And neither do I. Neither do a lot of people, because they wouldn't really even be at this point with someone, because they would have been saw red flags or seen that it was going to work a long time ago before they even got to the point where they were getting married to actually try to figure things out. But here we are, married at first sight. So after that, because ain't nothing else to take from this scene, because ain't nothing was figured out. They just said they was going to try to figure it out. And Becca got emotional because she didn't feel like Austin was going to prioritize this subject or issue, but he said he going to do it. So she was happy by the end. Okay, day 29 of marriage. We moving on. Okay, we don't got time to keep lingering on the same conversation over and over every week. Okay. Lauren and Orion is back. Why they back, I don't know. Okay, they was on here for 2.5 seconds. Lauren was talking with Claire. They met up to talk. Orion met up with Cameron to talk. So in regards to Lauren and Claire, ain't not much to say on Lauren's end. So it was mostly talking about Claire. She's talking about she don't feel like Cameron is attracted to her, or she doesn't know if he is. And, she's just in her head a lot, and the activities feel forced. Lauren tells her to stick it out. Why? Claire, the fact that you're questioning if this guy Cameron is attracted to you is absurdity to me. Okay, we only seen Cameron for 11 weeks. I mean, excuse me, if you count all these other little sideshows that maybe had like last week or like before the, the matching special or whatnot, maybe 12, 13 weeks. Okay, whatever. It don't matter. We only known Cameron for about 3 months. Okay? You known Cameron, and that's only one day out of the week for those 3 months. You known Cameron for a whole month. Okay, at this point. A whole month. Not 24/7, but practically 24/7. And you're questioning if he's attracted to you or not. Are you serious? Cut the crap. Claire, cut the crap. I'm too tired to try to even decipher the BS that you're talking about right now. Talking about you in your head a lot. Girl, please. Okay, we see it for what it is. You know what it is. Okay, so don't be trying to play in our face talking about like you don't feel like Cameron's attracted to you when he tells you countless time again he's attracted to you. This is that. Girl, please. Anyway, as far as Lauren telling her to stick it out, Lauren, just because you would have stuck it out with douchebag Orion doesn't mean Claire got to stick it out with Cameron. Okay, granted, I feel like Cameron gave more of a shot than Claire did, but that's beside the point. Okay, Lauren, stop. Okay, you still in distress. You still boohoo. Well, you didn't cry this episode, so thank you for that. But you was boohoo crying last week or the week before over a guy that. See, you got things dropping over here because they can't believe it either. You was boohoo crying 2 weeks ago over for this guy named Orion that you barely even knew. So I'm not really gonna be taking your advice, okay? Because you stuck up on a man that you barely like. Claire, do what you gotta do, girl. We then move on to Orion talking with Cameron, and Cameron just said he on the brink of walking away. I think Orion gave him some type of advice, but I don't care. I didn't write it down. Who cares what Orion got to say? Orion, you is in no position to be giving anyone any advice, not even yourself. So nobody care what you got to say. Or maybe someone does. Maybe your mom and your sister do, and your friends and stuff, and clearly Cameron. But I don't think anybody else really care what you got to say. I don't. So that's why I'm going to just move on to day 30 of marriage. So then we get to Claire and Cameron. Since it's everybody's 1 month anniversary, Claire and Cameron, they're not celebrating their 1 month anniversary because they're just not there, per Claire's words. She didn't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. And we then move on to Becca and Austin. They watched their wedding ceremony video and whatnot. That was cute, I guess. And then we get to Emily and Brendan. They go horseback riding in the snow. That's actually, I feel like the first time I've ever seen anyone horseback riding in the snow, like intentionally, as an activity. But that was nice. That was nice. We then get to Cameron. I guess he goes like snow biking with his friends, so that's cool, whatnot. And then Becca and Austin, they go ice skating, roast marshmallows, making some s'mores. They talk and whatnot. That was cute, just a nice little, easy breezy lemon squeezy type of activities. Okay, we breezing through this episode. Okay, cool, right? No. We then get to Emily and Brennan. They go out for dinner, and Brennan pretty much calls Emily a red flag. Emily don't say nothing, okay? And she be getting frustrated that Brennan don't be expressing himself too much. But my thing with her, and I'm just going based off what I see on TV, she may be doing other things behind that we don't see, but I can only go based off what I do see. So for what I do see, it's like, okay, you want more out of Brennan because Brennan is like hella emotionally unavailable, right? Okay, so in the moment where he confirms, because when he says stuff about like being a red flag, and Emily was like, so I'm a red flag, and he confirmed that yes, she's a red flag, I would then ask a follow-up question. How do you see that I'm a red flag? Even though he kind of expressed it just moments before, I need you to elaborate, because I'm that type of person. You tell me something, you tell me one little vague sentence, that's not gonna do it for me. I'm a person, I ask a lot of questions. That's why I appreciate those who are close to me, because I want to get down to the nitty gritty. I want to ask. If you tell me like this box is red, I'm gonna be like, what's in the box? Why is the box red? What's the words on the box? What's the meaning behind it? Did it come like that? Did you put things in it? Is it keepsake? Why you got in your pocket? Like, I'm that type of person that be asking all those questions, because I need to be clear, because for me personally, I overthink a lot. Okay, that is one of my faults, flaws, whatever you want to call. I overthink a lot. Okay, so it just helps me when I get clarity on what you're trying to say. So if you're telling me I'm a red flag, I need to know why you think I'm a red flag. I need to know the specifics, or I need to know when you first thought I was a red flag. And I'm not trying to come out like an interview type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though some people tell me my questions be a little harsh. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, really? You could be harsh with me, but I can't be harsh with you? Okay, whatever. But in this instance, I feel like Emily dropped the ball a little bit, because I feel like she should have been like, ask the follow-up questions, to get more out of him, to not be his therapist, because he really needs an actual therapist. But, if you want him to talk more because he's emotionally unavailable, I feel like asking him questions would help him to try to be emotionally available, even though I feel like he don't really be giving nothing, even when you do ask questions. I mean, we've seen how it was with Dr. Pia 2 weeks ago. But, you could try. I mean, I'm really doing it for me to get the answers I need, answered, not for you. But, this might help him too. I don't know. Like I said, I ain't no expert, so my advice could be trash, but that's what I say. That's my opinion. That's it. We then, because the dinner ends on an awkward note. So we move on to Cameron. He's texting Claire that he's not going to be coming home. And I guess he expressed to Claire that he's getting too attached and needs to take a step back. Getting too attached? Cameron, you've been attached. What are you talking about? Anyway, Claire, she gets emotional and confessional because she says he's a great person and hates that she can't meet him where he's at in regards to like the level that of, I guess, interest he has into the marriage with her. She doesn't have that same feeling towards him. Claire, we been knew this. He been knew this. You want to be emotional, but for why? Like these tears, like you crying these tears, and I'm just like, isn't this what you wanted? I feel like you low-key wanted to be free, so you can be free now. So what we crying for? I don't know what's going on with these people. I really don't. But we get on to day 31 of marriage, okay? Austin Zooms back his friend to talk about what their issue with the whole religion thing and whatnot, and the friend just advises for them to continue to work together to get to their main goal. At the end of the day, they're going to have to figure it out, okay? No one's going to be able to answer how you guys going to compromise this but you two. And I don't feel like talking to someone's friend is going to help in that. I mean, it might help them to understand the friend a little bit, or their spouse, significant other, a little bit more. But to actually get the answers of what to do, that's really for you guys to figure out what to do. Now, to get an actual expert, not these people on this show, to help guide you to figure out what you want and how you're going to get through this, to compromise and stuff. Okay, that's one thing. But for these, it's not going to work. Okay, it's just not going to work at all whatsoever. But okay, we then move on to Michael. I'm so done. I'm like, I'm mentally just like, I do not know what else to say about these people, because we're talking about the same thing week to week. with no added things in it. But okay, all right, we're gonna continue. Michael meets with his friends to talk about, what the experts said, him meeting with them and whatnot. So the friends are apprehensive about him getting married at first sight again. And, they said, that's really ultimately up to him on what he decides to do. So they're going to support him regardless. But, that's just something like you got to really, really proceed with caution. So in the midst of them talking, here goes Dr. Pepper coming to surprise them. And when she came to surprise them, I already knew. I said, oh, they found him a match. And in my head, I'm like, is it Lauren? But then when I see the previews for next week, I'm like, oh, some chick that I don't even feel like it's his match at all whatsoever. But okay, whatever. So she comes and sits down and talks with him for a little bit. And I guess Michael told her that his friend Paige had quite a few questions. So Dr. Pepper was like, I can answer some of them, but I can't answer all of them. And I'm like, Dr. Pepper, because you already knew that she was going to try to, ask all these questions like she was his mama or whatnot. You wasn't having that. You just came to tell him that y'all find him a match, and if he wanted to do it, cool. If not, okay, cool. Like, you wasn't trying to have no actual conversation, which I understand, because, a lot of people have questions for y'all that y'all don't want to answer. Okay, we already get the gist of that. So she pretty much tells Michael that they found him a match, and is he willing to go through with getting married at first sight again? So of course he says yes, and they all toast and cheers, and he's gonna get married in less than 2 weeks. Here we go again. Moving on, we'll wait till that time comes, okay? Moving on, we get to day 32 of marriage. So the couples get together for their month celebratory dinner, and I'm looking at what everybody's wearing. For the most part, everyone's dressed, a little upscale, a little semi-formal and whatnot. And then I look at Brennan's outfit, and I said, Brennan, so we just going to be wearing anything to anywhere, any place, anytime, huh? We just going to be wearing a basic behind t-shirt and a gray jacket. This is what we're doing for a 1 month celebratory dinner. For goodness sakes, even Cameron got, Cameron wore the same thing all day, every day. But I feel like it was a little bit more nice casual versus your casual. Okay. Or maybe Cameron's is considered smart casual, whatever they call it. Versus Brendan, you just look like you about to go to BurgerFi real quick, get a burger and go back home. Like, I don't understand. Your wife is all dressed up in a nice dress and heels and whatnot, and you wore this. All the girls are dressed in like nice dresses and whatnot. You even got Austin with his type of style, trying to wear like a suit jacket. And then, like I said, you got Cameron trying to be smart casual, and then you just in a t-shirt and a gray jacket. Brennan, do better. Brennan, do better. So then, of course, when we get a group dinner, of course, questions are going to be asked. I forgot the specific question that Becca asked, but Emily went first and she tried to give it on to Brennan to answer. He didn't want to answer. He never answered, and he just moved it on to Cameron. So then that's when we seen the little tick, tick, tick of Emily. You can tell she's starting to get annoyed. So throughout the dinner, as the conversation is going, the annoyance is, continuing. And as Cameron and Claire is talking, I'm looking at Brennan, and he just looked like he just lost in the world. Like, okay, I'm Brennan, right? Emily's right here. You have Cameron and Claire right here. In front of me is Becca and Austin. Okay, cool. As Claire is talking about, answering a question that was asked or whatnot, Brennan's just like looking over here. Just looking like he's in a daze. He don't want to be there. All this and that. And I'm just like, stay focused. Stay focused on the conversation at hand, especially on camera. And, you got to act. I mean, he did ask follow-up questions in regards to what Claire said. But I'm just like, did you really, think about this and ask? Or did, an expert or producer, not expert, a producer tell you to ask the follow-up question so it could look like you were engaged or deep in thought about what she was saying? I don't know, but I'm just like, Brennan, if you don't want to be here, don't be here, bro. Like, at this point, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. You're wasting all of our time. And your time, too. So, after that, while Cameron and Claire are still discussing stuff, we get to the conversation of making it work or getting a divorce. So Cameron said to Claire, let's count to 3 and let us both say whether we want to make this work or get a divorce. So everybody's just like, no, we don't want to do that. That's awkward, But they did it anyway. Okay. We went to commercial for dramatic effect, came back from commercial for dramatic effect. Cameron said divorce. Claire said separation. So that means, look, we're not going to do this no more. We done. So They both agree that they have no regrets in their marriage, and Cameron even said that he's a better man because of Claire. Claire talking about she about to cry. I'm like, Claire, all these times you talking about he gonna make you cry, and not one tear was shed. I don't want to hear it. Okay, please, Claire, save all that antics like you about to cry that you really feel for him. We don't believe it. You don't believe it. He don't believe it. So why you keep talking like that? Like as if it's gonna do something to Claire. We know it ain't gonna do nothing to you. Okay, you may be like, oh, that's cute, but and after that, that's it, right? Okay, Claire, please. So then, Claire asks Emily and Brendan if they see a future with each other. So Emily was like, I'm gonna let Brendan answer first. So he said he's just taking it day by day. Now he mentioned the phrase day by day earlier when him and her was talking. I believe when they went to dinner after horseback riding, or when they was making pizza. I don't know which one, but he made that phrase. He said that phrase before. So he said day by day like 2 more times in this actual scene and conversation. And this is when Emily is just about ready to snap, okay? The whole dinner she was making faces, trying to keep her composure and coolness and whatnot. And even when Claire asked a question about that, Emily was like, you just trying to stir the pot. And Claire was like, no, I'm not trying. Claire, now you should have looked at the demeanor, especially Emily's, and been able to be like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't ask this question. But here you are, you asked the question anyway. So, after he answers that, Emily excuses herself to go to the bathroom. Brendan says he's going to go with her, but she refuses his help. So it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect. Claire goes to check up on Emily. Emily vents to Claire. Claire tells Emily, you know, to just walk away. Don't even be in this marriage no more. So Emily was like, no, I'm not going to walk away. Well, what you gonna do then, Emily? Because you just trying to hold everything together to not take him off is not helping you out. Okay, to the point where you're gonna snap. You know, like what her name, Kirsten in Married at First Sight San Diego. Okay. So we don't want you to snap, Emily. Okay. So if it's to the point where you feel like you have to keep bottling things in, maybe this is not the relationship for you. Okay. Now, I mean, later on we do see her talk because we see Claire go up to Brennan to tell him like, look, Emily really likes you, so she's very upset right now. So Brendan said he cares for her and whatnot, so he wants to go check up on Emily. They go in a taxi van to talk. Emily gets emotional because she's saying, you know, I don't know what she done said, you know, she kind of expresses her feelings and stuff that she's trying to hold it in and whatnot. So Brendan just be saying, I'm sorry, you know, I know it's my fault, and you know, with how he's feeling, everything he's giving her is all he got, and he knows that she's giving more than he is, and you know, pretty much, you know, I'm not saying it word for word, I'm just about to paraphrase, but Emily's just like, you know, that's not enough, bro. You're gonna have to give more than just, oh, I know you're giving more, this is all. No, you're gonna have to give more, and if that was all you got, then you shouldn't have came on this show to begin with. But then again, you was probably recruited anyway, Brennan, so there's that. And I think eventually they drive away. We don't see them driving away, but clearly they don't drive back with the rest of the couples. So then we get the other couples. They're driving back in a party bus and whatnot. And I guess the conversation of like Claire and Cameron, they're both going to move out of the shared apartment. And when they do finally get to the apartment, they sit down and, you know, talk for a little bit because they do get a package at the door that's from like their 1-month anniversary. So they look over their wedding book. And it brings back a little bit of feelings, but not enough for them to try to think things through, to work it out. And they pretty much talk and wish each other the best. And Claire walks him out. And then that was the end of the episode. And for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't even know what the hell I just watched. Like, I really don't even know what the hell I just watched. And I'm just like, in regards to all these couples, nobody's going to work. Because if Claire and Cameron already at the point where they're like, we're done, okay, that leaves 2. And then with Becca and Austin, you know, she already said it's a deal breaker with this whole religion thing. So it's like, you might as well call it quits now if this is going to bother you so much, Becca. And I'm not saying, you know, it's wrong for how she feels, but I'm just saying we're going to be emotional and stuff like this for like, I don't know how long in regards to this religion thing, then y'all don't need to be together, especially if you're talking about, oh, is gonna affect you or is like pretty much a deal breaker, then you guys don't need to be together. Okay. And as far as Emily and Brennan don't even feel Emily like that. But Emily trying to make this thing work. And Brennan is like, you only trying to make this thing work because you said divorce is not an option. But you even said you would have ran a long time ago. So you might as well just run now. What's keeping you? Because y'all married? That don't mean nothing to nobody no more. It really don't. And you trying to, sorry, my arm itched. You trying to make fetch happen when clearly it's not trying to happen. This is bothering me. Bro, let it go. I'm tired, bro. I don't got time to talk about these people no more. They get on my damn nerves. All of them. They get on my damn nerves. The most, at this point, what I'm looking forward to is Michael getting married, because that's the most excitement of this season, because that's I don't think that's hope, but at least it gives them something new for this season, because these other couples, the door, we done. We done with that. That was the end of the episode. That's the end of the review. Like, I'm tired, but also at the same time annoyed. So those two together is giving a pair for disaster for me in this review. And I'm so sorry, because it's just like, I be trying that. Like, I really be trying. I be trying to come through with the jokes, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes they don't land because they don't give me the the content to make jokes. Because I'm just really looking at them like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, what are we doing here? But that's it. Ain't nothing else to say. Okay. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you laughed at least once, wow, you a real one for laughing. Please subscribe though. If you laughed. If you didn't laugh, listen, I can't even hold you for that, because this you see what I gotta work with for this episode. Okay, so come back next week. Hopefully we could talk about Homegirl. That would even look like she's like a match for Michael. So we're gonna see how that works out. Yeah, but come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh. Then you can subscribe. Cool. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Be easy, breezy, lemon squeezy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.